How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about people's reaction to the NBA draft picks that recently happened. To be more specific, I want to talk about people's reaction to the amount of biracial players who were picked for the NBA draft, or who were NBA draft picks. And I actually first heard about this from the YouTuber Paris Milan. So shout out to Paris Milan for covering this story. So let's get into the video. Let's get into this. So when those black male athletes said, "Cheers to light-skinned children," cheers to light-skinned kids, they meant it. Because black men have ushered in a new wave of biracial basketball players. But some other black men, have a problem with that. They don't like seeing so many biracial men in the mix. They want to see men that are more reflective of them. And I'm talking in terms of phenotype. Folks be saying that, we all black. It ain't no difference. We all the same. Don't be so divisive. Stop trying to divide the community. But yet and still, some black men have a problem with it. And I'm just like, the nerve, the audacity of a weak jigger. But again, I'm confused though. I'm confused. What happened to, quote unquote, we all come in so many different shades and colors, varieties, flavors, textures. Oh! What happened to, we all black. We all black. They see us all as just some N-words. What happened to the one drop rule and black genes being dominant? After all, don't they get it from their daddy? If they made it all the way to the NBA draft pick, shouldn't we give props and kudos to their fathers, their black fathers, as well as their moms, their non-black moms, but especially the black fathers? Because people are most likely attributing their athleticism to their black fathers. And many of their black fathers have a connection to like the NBA or perhaps like college basketball in some way too. But also though, what happened to you are the seed of your father? What happened to that? Darn it, you the seed of your father. The black man makes everything black. If your daddy black, you black. What happened to that? And I'll tell you what happened to that. Biracial male players happened to that. And as I mentioned, maybe I did or didn't, but if I didn't, I'll mention it. The majority of these biracial players do have black dads and non-black moms, by the way. Which is very important to point out, just in case someone want to come through and be acting like, oh, this is just a problem amongst black people. But really, they not even trying to do that. They trying to put it off on black women. But we're going to get into that a little bit later in the video. But oddly enough, though, the top pick, who's biracial, he has a black mom and a white dad. Oddly enough. Now that's just some good old poetic justice right there. And it goes to show that black men say this crap when convenient, right? All this crap about you the seed of your father, black genes, dominant genes. Uh, they see us all as N-words, the one drop rule, etc., right? All that is when convenient. Because you notice that it's not really being pushed right now. None of that is being pushed right now. They're making a distinction between men who look like them and who are reflective of them in their phenotype, and men who are not reflective of them in their phenotype, even if they may be partly them. Meaning even if they may be partly black, like at least like half black. And this also really illustrates that black men, like, it just shows how much game that black men run on not only black women, but just the black community in general when it comes to, you know, race mixing and them having children with women of other races. Like the manipulation involved, the deceitfulness, the devilishness of it all, right? And by the way, these biracial players, by and large, are going to have kids with white women, most likely. You know, women just like their mamas. And the next generation of basketball players are going to be white passing. Was that the plan the whole time? Because you know, basketball used to be like majority, if not exclusively white at one point. So was this like a plan to make the like basketball team majority white again? Something to think about. And again, like also something to note here, like these biracial men who have black dads, like again, they're going to end up with probably white women, and partly because their black dads do not encourage them to pursue relationships with black women. And if you think about it, well, why would they? Their dads probably have some sort of an issue with black women. So it's like, well, why would they push their sons to be with black women? But on occasions, it does happen when, like, oh, the black man wants their black son or wants their biracial son to be with a black woman so that, you know, his legacy won't be completely erased. You know, so that they won't be the only black person at Thanksgiving, you know, at Thanksgiving dinner, you know, like the dark spot that showed up to Thanksgiving dinner. And that's how they're probably going to get treated by their family. Being the only dark-skinned person, going to be treated just like a dark spot. Stain. A human stain on their family's legacy. And they're going to put them, they're going to, if they can, they're going to try and lock them in the basement too, at least when company come over. You know, just like they do with like dogs and, you know, cats and stuff when they can't behave. But, you know, black men love participating in their own erasure and whitewashing their NBA legacy. So, hey, let them go ahead and do it. But, of course, you know, one way or another, black men are going to try and rope black women into this somehow, some way. And black men, they're trying to blame black women for this because, as you know, the black woman is the black man's scapegoat. It never fails. These men can be with completely non-black women, you know, live in completely non-black neighborhoods, associate with no black people, but somehow, some way, it's the black woman's fault. That black woman done put a spell on me. She done made me get with Becky. She done made me have self-hate issues. The black woman a wicked woman. She the reason why Russia invaded Ukraine. She the reason why Al-Qaeda took over that country over there in the Middle East. I tell you, the black woman, that's a wicked woman right there. That's a woman that ain't got no shame. And always the blame. But like I said, it never fails. All the black man failures are the black woman's fault somehow, some way. And all of his triumphs and accomplishments are in spite of the black woman. It's not like a black woman never helped a black man at all, or a young black boy at all. Heck, it's not like the black women were signing them up for sports, paying for the fees that the absentee father didn't want to pay for, taking them to and from practice and everything else, making sure they do their homework, making sure they graduate on time. But nah, black women ain't never did nothing good for a black man. Going the full term with you and not getting an abortion like your dad wanted her to, Kanye West. But even though black men have a reputation both in and outside the community for being absentee fathers and not being involved, it's still somehow, it's somehow the black woman is to blame for everything that's bad and for everything that's good. It's, in spite of the black woman. But you see, this is why Goldman Sachs is investing in black women and not black men. Because Goldman Sachs, they don't want to throw away $10 billion. When you invest in black women, everyone wins. That's a win for the community. When you invest in black men, you invest in clownery. You invest in buffoonery. You invest in erasure. Black erasure. But yeah, they are saying that this is black women's fault. And they're saying that the black women should have gotten with the black men who had them biracial sons who became basketball players. But the thing is, traditionally speaking, men pursue women, not vice versa, right? So right there already, this argument can be thrown out, but I'm going to go even a bit more with it though. The thing is, the black women, they didn't deny those black men, at least not in mass. It may be on an individual level here and there, maybe. But I'm thinking, though, are these black men saying, oh, I just couldn't find a good black woman and I had to run into the arms, the sweet embrace of Rebecca. I had no other option. The black woman made me do it. But again, those black women didn't deny those men. Those men denied black women. And don't get it twisted. They denied black women because of their internalized racism, their internalized colorism, and their internalized self-hate. Right? It's nothing that black women could have done a little bit better. A little differently. Tried this, tried that. It's nothing. It couldn't happen. All right. It was nothing that black women could have done other than transforming into a preference. And some black women do try to do that. And oftentimes get clowned for it. So again, there's really nothing that black women could have done. If these dudes want preferences and non-black women and whatnot, that's what they're going to get. These dudes, because of their money and their status in the NBA, they have options. And they want to explore their options. And for many of them, exploring their options means going outside of the community to pursue love interests, baby mamas, girlfriends, wives, side chicks, what have you. And then it'll be an argument if black women have brought this up in the past about, these NBA players or athletes in general being with non-black women, and it'd be an argument saying, oh, the majority of black men is married to black women. The majority of them, they married to black women. What you complaining about? You always complaining about something. I told you, majority of these black men out here, they married with the black women. Only a little tiny percent of them with the non-black women. Well, apparently this small percentage is producing a lot of biracial players for some reason. What's up with that? But whatever. But of course, black men, black men have to take some responsibility, really take responsibility for the mess that they have created. And also, they come in for black women on this. It's like, well, Rebecca could have gotten an abortion and just aborted these biracial players, right? I don't see folks having smoke for Becky. I don't see these black men having smoke for Becky, but of course they got smoke for Keisha though, right? They always come with the smoke with Keisha, and then when Keisha get at them and get attitude on them, then it's all like you an angry black woman. Why you always got an attitude? Why you always so angry black woman? See, this why I know I don't want you now. And the reason that they're not coming for Rebecca like this is because they know better than that. Well, for one, they can't come for Rebecca then want to get with Rebecca. That just ain't. That's just weird. But then again, these dudes do come for black women and then on the low try to get with black women sometimes too. So I don't know. These dudes got some sort of a mental issue or something, or some sort of a self-hate issue, some sort of an issue that's making them behave very irrationally. But they know better than to come for Rebecca like that, because if they do, then they know they're going to have to deal with Brad. They're going to have to deal with white men, and they don't want that smoke. They definitely don't want that smoke. So, yeah. But, Rebecca could have gotten an abortion. Or even better, like black men are black men's brethren, even if it may not be the black men who specifically may be hearing this, but their brethren, right, could just not have conceived the children to begin with. Just be sexually responsible, and secure your legacy and stop participating in black erasure. And also, again, folks trying to blame black women for this, but black women, whether Mammy, Mule, or Pick Me, tried to warn black men about this. They tried to warn them black kings about this. They was telling them, like, Black King, don't do that. Don't go to Becky. Don't go to Selena. Don't come. Don't go to Kim Woo. Don't let her come through. They don't love you like I do. Please, Black King. Don't you want a black baby? I can give you some black babies. I don't want to see you be a race king. I don't want to see the next generation being light, bright, and darn near white. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, Black King. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Woo! I love my kings. I can't help it. Don't get me to singing and testifying up in here. In the church of black male worship, baby. So it's not like black men didn't have a warning, because black women were telling them about this for a good minute now. And also, like, wasn't it all good in the hood when black men's biracial daughters were erasing black women in the media? But now erasure is a problem because black men are experiencing it, right? When the problem affects black men, then it's all like this is a community problem. When it affects black women, it's just like, oh, that's a black woman problem. You know, when it's black men, it's like we gotta come together as a community. We gotta fight the power. We can't let them break us apart. No, no. You know, when it's a black woman problem, then it's all like, well, you know, we got more important things to worry about. We got other things. You know, this ain't a big deal. You know, black women, y'all strong, black, and independent. Y'all can solve your own problems. But the thing is with this problem, though, black men, you can stop this problem. You can stop this erasure. You know, because that's the thing. Like, with the biracial daughters coming from black men, like black women can't stop that. Like that's black men who have to stop that. But the biracial sons are coming from black men too, primarily, majority, in at least in this whole NBA situation. So black men can actually stop this erasure. They're in the best position to do that. I don't know what they expect black women to do other than castrate them or force them to get a vasectomy. But only black men can prevent erasure. We're doomed. If it's all going being put on the backs of black men, we're doomed. But black men can't stop erasure, you know, or stop this erasure by not procreating with non-black women. It's just that simple. That's all you got to do. Just stick with black women. Or tell your brethren to stop procreating with non-black women. I mean, folks come at black women all the time for swirling. So, you know, hey, black men can come at other black men for swirling. Right? Since we all care about the community so much and, you know, the black legacy so much. But if they do that, then won't be any biracial women for the black basketball players to fetishize, because you know those black basketball players and other athletes, you know, who are black, you know, they like some light skinned, you know, biracial women, you know, who they like to pass off as being full black women, so they won't feel like sellouts for being with them, and thus they can mask their internalized colorism and bias towards darker skinned black women. And also shame those same darker skinned black women for not accepting her as a sister, you know, accepting them as their sister. Sister, y'all. You know, so for them, there's an upside and a downside to the biracial children. And so because of that and more, this situation will continue. It's not stopping. And I'll be keeping tabs on the situation. And I predict, you know, I saw this in the comments section. I think this is a possibility at this point. It's like I predict at one point or another an all biracial basketball team being formed, and that team, one way or another, making it to being like the top team in the NBA. You know, and that would actually be like a strike against colorism. That would go against colorism and go against colorism. So that would be in favor of people who are against colorism, right? But we shall see. One more thing I want to mention before I close out this video, and it's a message to black women, and that is simply just to stay out of this situation and not to try and be super black woman. And as well, I really don't think there's anything that black women can do to remedy this situation. This is something that black men have to fix. So I would strongly suggest that you stay out of this situation before they try to blame you even more for this situation. When black men are ready to come home, they'll come home. And when they do come home, you can choose if you want to let them in or not. So I thank you very much for watching this video or, listening to this video. Please let me know what you think about all this in the comments section below. And until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.